Hi everyone, let's welcome Martin. He'll be giving the talk titled Jabber XMPP, How a 1999 Communication Protocol is Still Relevant Today.
So, thank you for being here. I need to put this. So, 1999, that's a long time ago. Most of you, I see here, were not born back then. 1999, it was a different time. It was a time of Todo sobre mi madre and Matrix, if somebody remembers those films. It was the final year in the office of the Argentinian president who must not be named. And it was a time of Debian 2.1 and the Linux kernel 2.0, so a long time ago. And it was a time of the messengers. Messengers were a big thing back then. Zephyr, IRC, and SMS came into life. The three are still alive. Microsoft did WeChat, Comic Chat, and NetMeeting, all dead by now. ICQ, AIM, and Yahoo Messenger are also dead by now. And the only further thread that is still alive is Jabber or XMPP, which has been introduced in January 1999 by Jeremy Miller. So what is Jabber and why is it called XMPP? Jabber XMPP is an open IETF standard since 2004. So together with IRC, I think it's the only two IETF thread standards. The standard is now maintained by IETF and all the extensions by the XMPP Standard Foundation, XSF. It's a very universal protocol. It can be used for instant messaging, which is most known, but also for IoT, gaming, real-time social applications, and so on. A lot of people use or used XMPP without knowing. For example, FCM used to be based on XMPP till 2 years ago or something. It's used in WhatsApp in some form, in KIK or Kik. I don't even know it, but it seems to be pretty relevant. And Zoom, Grindr, Nintendo Switch, Fortnite, and many more. Google Talk was based on Jabber, and it even federated until 2022. Facebook had a Jabber interface for clients, but did not federate. And the Jabber company that had held the copyright of the name has been acquired by Cisco in 2008. So the name Jabber is now owned by Cisco, which is why many people prefer to call it XMPP to not be in trouble with Cisco. I still use the word Jabber. So so all the big tech abandoned XMPP and Jabber. So that was a big crisis for the system. Anyone knows Swimmy, the fish? From the child book of the 1960s. That's about many small fish who put themselves together to fight the big fish. This is more or less the image. So Jabber XMPP is not driven by any single company or something. It's really a community project now. Only the standard, the technical standard itself is maintained by XSF. But otherwise, it's a lot of independent projects like Pref and many other projects are using that. So why? There are a lot of people, especially I think here and generally related to free software and open source software, who like things like digital sovereignty, digital autonomy, open standards, open communication systems. And we hold those values high, or some of us like that. There's a saying by the black feminist Audre Lorde, for the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. So if we want to dismantle the master's house, we need to have the proven tools like Java XMPP, which is a pretty good tool to avoid walled gardens and so on. In Debian, there's a lot of Java and XMPP software. There's the servers eJabberD and prosody since 2004 and 2009, so quite a long time. There are a lot of clients, Psi or Psi, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Gadram, Emacs Jabber, Profanity, Dino, since a long time. Other clients for Android, for example, there's Conversations and its various forks. It says it's disconnected again. I'm not interested in that. For iOS, there are Monal and Syskin. There are web clients like Converse.js and Movim and so on. I spare you the details. If you want to use Java XMPP, there are a lot of public servers. You can register an account. There are two good sites to find a good server. There's providers XMPP.net and there's joinjava.org that give good hints about useful servers. For Debian developers, we have a very good server that is the Debian org server. So we can just log into the DB Debian org, set our so-called RTC password, and then we get an XMPP account that is exactly identical to our email address at Debian. For self-hosting, you just install prosody and eJabberD. There are a lot of blogs and so on, documentation on how to do it. It's not hard, especially the maintenance of XMPP is practically no work at all. Elena Valhalla did the XMPP talk last year at the DebConf in Brest, and she has a very good documentation. If people do not use Debian and want to self-host, there's a snicket with its Dockerized prosody, pretty much pre-configured, and I heard that it should be really easy. I never tried it myself. I only mention, in any case, for self-hosting, you have to set some DNS records. I spare you the details, but I just say you need a couple of so-called server SRV records in your DNS that point to the right server. In Debian we have also a number of I'm annoyed by this. I hope it will. Yeah, good. We have a number of gateways. We have Bibumi, which is a gateway to ISC. If you want to try it, here is a XMPP link to the DebConf ISC channel. So you can just join the DebConf ISC channel by any Java client. I do exactly that. There are various gateways. The HMM is one that works. Here's the QR code for it. There's a matrix bridge. I broke it some days ago, so don't install it right now. Otherwise, it works well. For SMS, there's SMS for you. We have also nice tools for debugging and checking server connections and so on. XMPP DNS is very nice, and LibreVia command line interface is very, very powerful. It's amazing. I'm much faster than I thought. That is good, because I thought I have too many slides, but I'm still very good in time. We can have more questions than I thought.
Anyone got any questions?
Or comments or answers?
Comments, suggestions? Let me look at the chat.
Hello, Martin. Thanks. Why would you choose to use XMPP over, say, IRC or Matrix now?
Compared to IRC, XMPP is much more modern, let's say. It has more features. You don't need a permanent connection. It has pretty good encryption, end-to-end encryption. So I would definitely choose XMPP over IRC all of the time, because also I'm used to things like emoji reactions nowadays. So you have also AV calls if you want them. I think IRC does not have audio or video calls. So it's pretty much more modern than IRC. Compared to Matrix, I think feature-wise, it's more or less the same. Maybe here there's a feature Matrix has and XMPP not, and the other way around. So I think it's feature-wise it's okay. I chose XMPP when Matrix did not yet exist, so that's let's say it's a little bit, for me, it's like reinvent the wheel. Why not? We do this in free software all the time, but that's why I chose XMPP. And it's also, as I said before, it's an IETF and XSF standard, so it's a little bit more open in the development than Matrix, which is a little bit more centralized in the way that a certain instance controls it. But it's okay. I mean, it's free and federated. Both are free and federated, so I'm fine with both.
Well, in my opinion, the main difference between XMPP and Matrix is that XMPP is simpler. It's more simple. Mm-hmm. Matrix, on the other side, is like an elephant. It's an overkill for the server and for the client too. So I think that's the main difference. My question is, what about the recent implementation of audio and video calling, and what about the different cipher protocols like OMEMO and others?
Let's talk about the AV stuff. In Debian we have Dino, which does one-to-one AV calls and small meshed groups. As far as I know, they are working also on larger group support by means of an SFU, like Galeen. Other clients already do that. For example, Movim, which is a web client. They are implementing SFU support right now. LibreVia has it in a development version since a long time, but it's not yet released. And mobile clients like Monal for iOS and Conversations and its forks for Android do also one-to-one calls. So that's mainly the state of things. AV calls in one-to-one are always encrypted. For SFU, I guess that the SFU has access to the data. In fact, I'm not sure. I don't know much about SFUs, but I guess so. About encryption, as XMPP is a very old protocol, as I said, there are various encryption options that developed over the time and that goes on. We had OTR, long time ago. I think all modern clients dropped support for it, so it's probably still possible to find a client with ODR support, but yeah, it's mostly that. Then we have Omemo, which is practically an implementation of the Signal security protocol, just like Matrix also uses this protocol, and WhatsApp too. And there's a lot of development now with Omemo. There's a new version of Omemo coming, and now I heard that they are just working on quantum cryptography safe thing that will need certain server support, because the key material becomes so huge that it needs to be distributed over many messages. So, yeah.
Oh, say hi. We have a question from IRC. It's from Rafael Passos. He's, I think, the maintainer of Bibumi.
Bibumi, yeah, very
Yes.
good.
He said, I started running XMPP prosody, exposing directly with my router. I just migrated to exposing it using Netboard this weekend, and it was a lot harder than I expected.
Okay.
The fact that we need a lot of ports for XMPP is part of the pain. I tried using port multiplexer to focus everything on port 443 and failed. Have you tried anything like this?
Did I understand that correctly? He tried to use port 443 for yeah, that's what I also do and prefer to do. It's a very good idea, because then it works even in British trains, which is my experience that it not works when you're on a different port. Yeah, you can do it by means of the ALPN, and there are various tools to separate the various 443 protocols, like XMPP server, XMPP client, HTTP. Nginx does that very good. I think an option is also SSLH. I didn't try it, but I heard about it, that it works well. Yeah, but I tried with Nginx, and it works perfectly well for me. Thanks to ALPN. So that is my suggestion. There is on the XMPP wiki, it's wiki.xmpp.org. There is a very good example for SSLH, Nginx, and so on. So maybe that helps.
Yeah, so Rafael replied yes, so I think that's the problem. He tried to do everything through 443 and he was having some problems.
Yeah.
But he said thanks. I'm going to ask, is there any XMPP team in Debian? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's an XMPP team. However, a lot of the XMPP software is not maintained by the team. For example, I recently, or some month ago, I moved all Python-based XMPP software to the Python team, because it's it's much better handled there, because it's more about how Python works in Debian than how XMPP works in Debian. So it makes more sense. But there's a team which is handling a lot of the stuff, like prosody, Dino, and some other software. And for example, eJabberD is handled outside of the XMPP team by another developer. So,
yeah, you still have a minute or so, but I imagine because you are the next for the BOF, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say many thanks for joining this talk here, and we will hold a BOF about Java XMPP and Debian right now here. So just stay seated, and we move here, I don't know, in a circle, and we can talk about all the Java XMPP software in Debian, how the state is, what can be improved. what software might be added, also maybe about the state of our own Java server, debian.org. So let's see.
Okay, everyone, let's give a hand of applause to Martin.
Thank you.